Hi YouTube, how are you doing? I'm doing all right. Just got done shoveling out. We got around a foot of snow. Um and getting some dry wood and stuff like that. So yeah, it was fluffy, pretty, pretty heavy. So anyway, yeah, that's hasn't been the extent of my day. I've been memeing a lot over on Facebook and talking a lot, typing on the top of memes and that type of thing, explaining more about our Fort Knox has no gold. The Federal Reserve, are a banking cartel of mostly foreigners, and all the gold is gone, and the paper money that they charge us interests on is ours that we work for, that they use to buy things like real estate and tangible gold and government secured bonds and those types of things, while the average Joe that works has absolutely nothing. Enjoy your life. So just been explaining a lot in one paragraph if I can, to like the younger generation, like they might have heard it, or like a refresher course type of thing, so that always helps me. I love when somebody's short and sweet and to the point. Like if you can say something in one paragraph and it impacts, and then come back and maybe correlate it with something else where things are connected in the world like that. It's like, yep, that's a good way to go, because you're jam packing information all in one little something. I love doing that if I can. It's like bottom lining everything. So, if you're going to describe something, what's the bottom line, the context of the paragraph, and can I make it into a sentence? That's kind of the way I operate when I'm typing, if I can, you know, to express my feelings with the least amount of effort, because people are telepathic anyway, and it's just another means of the chaos that they spell on this planet, you know, with their every word being a spell in the English language, every single one. So, yeah. Anyway, I don't spell that well, but I'm a pretty good speller. you know. Anyway, not too bad anyway. Yeah, I have to use uh the spelling for my writing quite often, the spell check. I love that thing most of the time. Sometimes it argues with you, you know what I mean? It's like, how dare you, you electronic thing? you know. Yeah, I had some good friends keeping my spirits up today because they're going through the same type of things. It's like, yep, yep, thanks. It is great. It's good to know. Some of them don't even say nothing, but they're saying something. Yeah. Sometimes no words can describe stuff. That's true too, but not when it comes to what the governments around the world are doing to everybody, and this fake war that they're going to try and pull off, and it's all disgusting. Not that people won't get hurt. Don't get me wrong. It's just that in diplomacy, and the majority does rule. Um, in diplomatic situations, you can always come to a meeting of the minds when it comes right down to it as human beings. And these mofos are blood. So think about that. Like, even like your seventh cousin, but you're directly related and could be a lot like them. And you're sitting down, you're eating together one moment, and the next moment you're thinking about hurting each other's peoples. Why? Because you can for money or position or whatever. And these people that are direct descendants of each other literally can't sit down and make a firm decision as people that are human, let alone flippin' related. That's pretty lame. That's some lame ass people out there, you know, sick in their flippin' heads, you know. So, and it's gonna stop. I can feel it, and I know the earth moves. I'm not quite certain exactly how, but there is movement to it, and it has a lot to do with the other planets affecting it around it. I'm absolutely certain. So, like its movement, not only does it move by itself, but they all move and they move in unison. Of course, we know that it's a clock, but it's more like the ethereal energy deal of the whole thing too. But something tells me, because God talked about a new earth, and the mere fact that, like, the heart of the matter, the bottom line, that energy of what is can never be destroyed. So it, like, comes full circle. The thing is, do people really want to be a part of the planet? Is it beautiful to them? Do they find any value in being part of procreation? How much do people literally respect that? You know, that's my bottom line. That my DNA came through my mother's. Not from her, through her. Them. You know. And think about that on your own level. Because that's exactly too, that's what I'm doing nowadays. I'm treating people more and more on their level. I can only love a person on your level. If you're very lovable, I can be very lovable. If you're not so lovable, I can't be that lovable as much as I would want to be. So it leaves it there for me, and I'm not going to get emotionally attached to the youngness of the situation. I'll just take it in stride. Not inside, but definitely in stride, and carry on. You know, so if like, if I don't reply to somebody, or if I'm not saying what you think I might say, or taking enough effort towards somebody, and if my answer is very, very short or none at all, this is the level that I'm giving to everybody in my life, anywhere. Take it or leave it, you know. So that's where I'm at. It's like I have people want me to do them favors, and it's not that I wouldn't or haven't. It's just, you know, like, my spare time isn't their spare time type of thing anymore. Um, it's mine from here on out. And even if I'm expected to be a certain way, like even with family members or with that time or whatever, it's like, no, not even there. On your level. Absolutely on a person's level is all I can do. I had a friend making a joke, telling me to level up. LOL, LOL, right. I'm gonna level up. I'll level on your level. No, nobody tells me to level up. That'd be some, that would be not a real bad vibe towards the person, but you probably wouldn't like the look you got, you know, personally, up close, on a personal level. Not mean. I'm just saying you couldn't handle the look you got because you can't handle it right now. So I'll just leave it there. And I think the person that I'm talking to, or the several people that I was talking to, are about, you know who y'all are. So I'll just leave it there. Yeah. Had a good day. I had a great day. I wanted to get my snowboard out, but I got to get different boots. It's all there is to it. I've got Soros. They don't work well snowboarding. I need something lighter. So anyway, because I got the perfect hill I won't kill myself on. So yeah. Wait, well, I've got a hill I'll kill myself on too, but I'm not gonna go on that one. Not after I've had broken bones and I'm still healing from stuff. It's like, nah, I'm gonna, accidents that weren't my doing or whatever, things in my life that broke me in pieces, so I'm healing. I don't want to get broken again. So, and it wasn't from it. I wasn't doing any sports and got hurt. It wasn't like that. I cut Doug out of a tree with his chainsaw, and I broke my shoulder and my arm in a couple different places, and a bunch of muscles were involved, and it's like, whew. Otherwise he would have bit the dust. He did a little while after that anyway, fell straight on his back and damn near broke his back, I think. He was laid up for a couple years just a while back. I could have been really mean then, but I wasn't. I'm not like that. But he was, but he's not anymore because uh, it's not that I think he's becoming a better person. Perhaps in his next life he'll be something something, you know. Or the next stage of his being is how it should be worded for people. But yeah, but anyway, I'll just leave that right there too. It's the way it's gonna be. But yeah, he was out using the tractor, and I know it got a little hard on him. He was warm enough. He was all bundled up in some like overalls and coveralls, jackets, all kinds of winter made gear. So, but yeah, it doesn't have power steering, and that's getting hard. I knew it was rough. He came in, he had a couple aspirins, and he was gonna have a beer. And he says, put the beer away. He hasn't had one for a while here, so I'm trying not to count the days. It's like, do whatever you want to do. So I grabbed him the beer and just set it on the table. I didn't hand it to him, you know. So then he didn't want it, so he's like, yeah, I don't want this. I'm like, okay. Yeah, if something's killing you or, wrecking your freaking life, it's like, yeah, what are you going to think about? And what age are you going to be when you think about it? And is it going to be life threatening? And some people, some young people I know have died because of that. And other ones that are on the verge or have been are in that situation of destroying their temple, which is a little ridiculous. Yes, I do smoke and I detox and I keep busy. I just don't sit here like one cigarette after another. I have in my life, you know, but I didn't really want to live all that much. Still have my days I feel like that, but I won't do anything crazy. But I've thought about it, you know, because I know now that a lot of people would have liked me to have done that, But nah, I'm too smart for that. Well, let me rephrase that. I'm too close to God for that. Otherwise, I would probably have no, and that's why they wanted that, and that's why it can't happen. So, you know, kind of goes hand in hand. So, yeah. So, yeah, this whole world's chaos, and they love it the way it is. You know, most people do. It gives them an excuse to feel like, well, okay, I didn't make myself. This pretend I'm talking to God. Okay, I didn't make myself, but I can do something so you get mad at me and there's nothing you can do about it cuz I have free will. So there. That'd be a little silly, but people do it every day. No, it's like, yeah, I can make that old man on the L or on a bus, I can make him just stand there and he's got a broken leg and his arms hanging off his side and he's trying to carry some packages. I can just make him flip and stand there when my legs are like strong, you know? Yeah. People make their own decisions, I guess is what I'm trying to say, you know? Yeah. But then on the other hand, somebody like that would probably offer me their seat. They'd be like, wow, it looks like a grandma. Maybe she needs to sit down. you know, never know. Everybody's different. But yeah, the snow is beautiful. We got it cleaned up pretty good, not bad. That's always a relief, but we have more coming in, so that's why I got more wood in today. It's like Doug usually does a lot of it too, but he was busy, of course. And then, like I said, he come in not feeling good at one point, not because of the cold, but because of just the work, And he's getting older, so it's like, yeah, you better. And I told him, I said, why don't you just make it a 2 day thing? That's what I do. I just call it 2 days, and that'd be it. But we have two bills that need to get in, and one for sure. So he had to get in town anyway. So he did get it done. He's probably gonna do a lot more because he really like keeps it super wide and manicured for more snow so we can pile it up if we have to, and there's piles. So yeah, we've been getting our precipitation this winter. Well, I've seen it worse. I really have. Like I've been saying, there's like in, I think it was 1968, it was like over our roof, and I was playing on a snowdrift that was up by the telephone lines. I mean, I couldn't reach them or nothing. It was on the same level. I was looking around at the city because we lived on the edge of the city on a hill, and I was looking out over the city, and I couldn't like see a bunch of houses because there's woods and what, but I could see the tall buildings of Minneapolis. But it's like this is just a trip. It was almost like I was right downtown, being like 3 miles away. It was, or maybe three and a half, four, something like that. So, but it's really freaky. So yeah, we've had, and even when I lived by the lake, my back door was snow drifted in from the hill in my backyard, and my door, the whole thing, I had to shovel it out like going into a cave. Well, I mean, cutting down the sides, there was open air, but an L shape to dig out my door, but I had to go out the front door and shovel 3 feet of snow there or more and a path around to the back to get to like a 13-foot tall snowdrift and dig it out. That was a trip. But it looked pretty cool when we were done, you know. So, yeah. Wow. Let the good times roll. You know, yeah, right, my ass. Fuck this shit. You know. Anyway. Wow. Yeah. It's like you have your ups and downs all day, don't you? You really do. A person does. See, that's, you know, people want to just paint a person like in one frame and say, you know, well, that's a nice person or whatever. We do all have our ups and downs every day, and, you know, and yeah, we all learn from each other. Sometimes that's a son of a gun. But even if we are learning something bad, that's how even the good people, that's how we learn that being wise like a serpent because they taught us, you know. But God helps you too, and He made the serpent, so He can help you twice as much, and that's the truth. Oh, I'm all swollen. I have like gas fumes on me. My right here gets itchy, you can see, and around my mouth and my nose gets just irritated. So I'm gonna be jumping in the shower in a little while here. Thought I'd say hi, and Darla, hi. Yeah, some of you may not know. Darla asked a good question when the Masons caught me snooping on their secrets. Did they try and do any? Did I get like scolded? Scolded? Yes. And then they tried to murder me. So I was telling her, and some of you know the story. It's not a story. It's my story of how he tried to back the boat. My dad tried to back the boat into me with the motor running, and it's like God just lifted me through the water, you know. And I was a strong swimmer too, but yeah, it was a little more than that, and it freaked him out. And then another time we jumped off 30-foot cliffs of into 36-degree Lake Superior water while my mom and dad waited in the car for my brother and I. My brother had jumped out further, and his lips were turning purple, and he was out there and he's about ready to sink, and he was shivering, and I said, you can, something like real smart assy, and it pissed him off. I said, you can you can swim, you big baby, or something like that at him. You know, sometimes God just has you say things, and it was perfect. He got so mad he started swimming, and we both got out of there, and they were still sitting in the station wagon when we got back from coming up the path from the cliff, and they did not expect us to return, and I'm sure they had life insurance. And later in the years, my adopted mother actually worked at Prudential Life Insurance, but in the kitchen. I was there one time on stage when I had taken modeling classes, and I got to model winter wear, and I had the coolest coat and boots and hat and gloves that I could buy discount just because I was modeling them, which was so awesome. It was a maxi coat that could unzip into a regular jacket with a belt, and it was tweed, kind of tan and brown, and a fuzzy hat, and fuzzy gloves. It was so cool. And then I had my own brown scarf that I'd wear with it. I just loved that. Oh, and granny boots, if anybody remembers, they're like up to the knee boots. So, and those ones that I picked were a dark maroon color, like ox blood, you know. So they were badass boots. Oh, the good old days. So I was 12. It was fun. But um, at the thought of doing it for a profession wasn't my thing. I got asked for a junior Vogue, and it's like, no, no, uh-uh. I'm not smiling on command. I'm not doing anything on command in front of a camera, you know, like, walk this way, talk this way. No, I don't do that shit. I don't know. It's not that I was shy or anything, because it was fun. It's just not what I wanted to do. And then I went and eventually, I think the most significant thing that I did, even after going to nursing school the first time, um, before I started thinking about being an LPN, um, but because I had a year and a half into that, but was working out on the ranches. That was like some of the best times of my life. Not just the people I worked around, but some of them were just really awesome people. But some not so much, but working with the animals was just fabulous, you know. Fun and strong and fast way of life, hard working, hard playing. I loved it. So, yeah, I did. I wouldn't do it again now. I mean, I would at the same age for real. But I'm done taking care of animals for the most part. Well, I always say that, and then there they are. But okay, everybody, I'm gonna leave it at that. I thought I'd just and oh, another time, I was sent into a swamp and deer hunting season, and it was where my dad had grown up, so he knew it well. And I barely got out of there with my life, and it was a giant swamp. And there's more stories, but I'll just leave you on swamp thing. Oh, okay, I love you. Have a good night or day wherever you're at. Peace.